Okay, what is going on, creatives? It's me again, Tunji from Ceasar Graphics, and I want to specially welcome you all to my weekly design training where I share free design tips with designers. All right. Okay, so I want to specially thank this designer for sending his design to us for me to review. And if you want your design to feature in any of our weekly design training, simply make use of the link in the description section of this video and send your design to any of the admin aside from Caesar Graphics. All right, don't send it to Caesar Graphics. Only send it to the other admins. Okay, so I want to quickly go straight to this project, and I'm going to share my process with you. And I'm sure you guys are going to learn something from this tutorial. All right, so this is a good project here. I like the fact that we can easily see the title here, and the background is so bright enough for us to see the content in the project. Okay, but what is not working here is the part of not focusing on the layout right. All right, I'm talking of the part of putting together the elements to make the principle of design, make the elements in the project balance. If you look at this project here now, I'm sure you guys will notice that we have there's no room for white space. And when you're working on design projects without having white space in mind, you are going to affect the success of the project that way, because your content, your elements, they need room to breathe. If in this project here, this space here, all right, is too small. All right, it's too small. The proximity in the project here is too, I mean, it's too heavy. There's no room for the proximity to really balance here, and that's part of what affected the success of this project. And the other thing I notice again here is this part of overlapping of images. Now, there are times where you can do this, or you can do this, but in a case where the content in the project they don't call for it, I don't think this is necessary. Now, I'm not saying you should not play, all right, because I know most time why we designers do this is because we want to play and make the project look dynamic, which is okay. But when you place images like this, all right, you are going to you're going to affect the success of the design. All right, you only do this when the project calls for it, but in a case where the project did not call for it, please avoid this type of playing. It's not really okay here. And then the other thing I notice again here is the part of the hierarchy. I'm talking of the part of controlling the eye of your viewers in the project. Everything is looking too shouting, like they are really calling for attention here, and this affected the success of the design. Now I'm going to show you guys my version, and I'm going to use everything I explain here to recreate the my version. Okay, so then the other thing I also notice here is the use of images that are not necessary. I know most time why we designers always do this or work this way is when we don't want to create that impression that, hey, I don't want you to think I didn't do anything, or we notice that there's a white space in our project that look like something is missing. So we just find a way to just put something that is not necessary to help make the that area not to look too empty, and that is not nice. Okay, then the last part here is the focusing on the message in the project. The designer did not really focus on the message here. And when I say the message here, I'm talking of what we have here. You see this small information here is what really explains what this message is about. And as a visual communicator, part of how we inform the viewers correctly is when we focus on the problem that the project is supposed to pass to the viewers for them to get the solution. Now I'm saying this here because here we have book promotion and launch seminar. I expect to see something that show this looking bold. Now I'm not saying you should make this rider or this information here bold, but the image, all right, there should be an image that explain this, that make this here really capture the attention of the viewers for them to know what the project is about. All right. So the passing of the information fast to the viewers here is not really balanced. Yeah, I know you really want people to see that yes, these are the people coming for the event or coming to speak at the event. If you make them small, people will still see them. Why? Because there's nothing you put in your project that is neutral. And that's why I also noticed that we have image that is not necessary in the project here. So nothing you put in your project that is neutral. That is why you need to be careful how you place the content or the elements that you're using in your project. So I'm going to stop here and I'm going to quickly show you guys my version of the project, my version, and I'm going to use that to explain how I mostly achieve successful design project. All right. Okay. So, sorry, I almost I was supposed to show you guys my version before we get. Okay, you know what, guys? Let's just continue with the watching of the process. Okay. Yeah. So first, I went to look for an image of a book mockup on the internet, and I placed the book design from the original, from the project, and put it in the on the mockup to really show that a book, because like I said, we're visual communicators. We need to help our viewers quickly know what the project that we are for we need to help our viewers quickly know what the project is about. So, and I decided to do this book mockup so as to help my viewers quickly know that hey, this project is about book launch. Even if they did not see the book launch, as soon as they see the book, they quickly know, okay, this project has something to do about had something to do with book. All right. So I decided to go through this creating of this mockup so as to help make my viewers quickly get the message. All right. Now, this part of creating a mockup is something you can there are so many tutorials on the internet where you can watch how to achieve mockups like this. All right. So I use vanishing points just in case you want to know the Photoshop filter that I use. So if you want to know how to use vanishing points to create book mockup, you can just search uh how to use vanishing point to create book mockup in Photoshop. I'm sure you're going to see so many tutorials on how to achieve that. All right. So yeah. So this is the part where I started putting together the element. Now, you'll notice I started with the use of uh placing of my font here, placing of my title, excuse me, in the project here. Um, you see, after placing your illustration, the next thing you need to place in your project, or for me, the next element I always like to play with in my project is the title. Why? Because I like to arrange the content in my project in the order that I want my viewers to see them. All right. So I know some of you may be wondering, hey, Caesar, so why did you decide to use this character for the project? We're talking about book here. And if you check most books, there's uh this type of typography, this typography family that you mostly see in book, and is mostly serif. All right. So I really want to create that unity, that connection, that yes, we're talking about book here, and that's what inspired the character that I use in the project. Aside from that, when you're working on book launch projects, it's always best to make the project look classy. All right. Yes, it's always good to make the project look classy because um what you're trying to create is to help the viewers know that, see, this book is about making your life interesting. All right, because yes, that's purpose behind, that's the, the focus behind every book is to teach you how to be successful. All right, so in order to really create that impression, it's always best to, make this reflect in your design. And part of how you can do this is through the use of the character you use in the project, and also the how you give room for white space and how you make the project look simple. All right, and that's what, I had in mind when I was putting together with this project here. Yeah, so this layout here was my first layout, and I wasn't really feeling this layout. Why? Because you know I just feel everything is looking too close to each other. There's no room for space, so I decided to change it, and you guys are going to see the 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 layout I finally used for this project here. All right, yeah, actually the putting together of this took me time because I I was busy working on another project, and then I was working on the project at the same time. So, the part of paying attention to the project was not really there. All right. But I'm happy I finally did something nice, which you guys are going to see later. All right. So, yeah, you notice I'm moving the focus of the reason why we have the project. I'm trying to give room for it to be visible. And the reason is because, the goal of the project is very important. All right. The purpose why the project exists is very, very important. And that's why you notice when I was finding it, I was looking for the better position for that information that explain why the project exists, which is book promotion and launch seminar. All right. Yeah. So this layout that you're looking at right now is not really okay. All right, because yeah, you notice we're still the content, the frame, because those boxes are for pictures. You notice they are too close to the book, and this is really affecting the um the making the project look simple. So I had to change the layout of the picture frame so as to have more room, like so as to have more white space around the book. All right, I'm sure you guys notice that as soon as I move the frame away from the book, you notice that yes, the book can now breathe in the project. All right. Yeah. So I'm sure you guys I'm sure you guys are having fun watching what you're looking at on your screen. All right. Then yes. So then there's also the part of making your elements align. All right. Making them align is very, very important. Why? Because the putting together of the element is your element is not different from how you see people who do drawing of buildings, how they always make sure that everything is well aligned. When you don't make your content align, it can affect the beauty of the design. It's going to make it look like a cat house, you know. So when you're putting together your elements, do your best to make everything align, which is also part of what I noticed that the designer that sent this design to us did not do right. He did not really make every element in the project align. Then also, there's also the part of using margin. All right. And that's why that's what you're looking at here uh on your screen here. Margin is very important. The margin in your project is like a frame that make the the attention of your viewers go to the content that you have at the center of your frame. So using margin is very, very important, and that's the reason why you have I have those guides around my frame in the project to help make my project look professional. Yes, the use of margin makes your project look professional. Okay. Yeah. So I'm sure you guys can see how I'm giving room for white space and how I'm making the content in the project bright. Now, in the designer's version, you notice the book is not as big as what I have here on my screen. The reason why I decided to make the book big is because I want the viewers to quickly know what the project is about. I'm repeating this again. Then I decided to use these arrows here to help my viewers to help direct the eye of my viewers to where the arrow is pointing. You see, the use of arrow is very is always nice, all right, in every design project. So when you're working on design project, try invite these elements in your project. It's part of how you can control the eye of your viewers to any information that you want their focus to go to. So the reason why I have it here in my project here is to help my viewers, just to help direct my attention of my viewers to the focus, which is uh, the book, and also the part of paying to be part of the the event. All right, yeah. So there's another thing I want to teach you guys here, which I did in this project here, because I noticed most designers, whenever you are giving images to use in your project, most of us always use the image the way we receive it from the client, and this is not always nice. All right. If you look at the picture of this character here, you'll notice that there's one side of the face is darker than the other side, and this is not, really okay. So I decided to add curve to, boost the brightness of the side that I noticed that is not really bright on the face of the, of the subject. And after doing that, I decided to soften the selection on the face in order to not make people notice that we did any adjustment on the face. All right. Then the reason why I decided to make the picture of the characters black and white is because the project is loaded with so many content, so many information, and having too many colors in the project is also part of how you make your project look heavy. So I decided to convert the pictures to black and white in order to really make the focus of the viewers go to the goal in the project. All right. Yeah, that's the reason why I decided to convert the pictures of the characters to black and white. Then I'm sure you guys can see where I sampled the color that I clip in the title is from the shape and also from the book. Now, some of you may be wondering, hey, Ceasar, how did you manage to know the right color for the project? If you go check the color wheel, you will notice that the blue color we have on the book is still the same. The blue color we have on the book is the is if you check the color wheel, the blue color, sorry, I'm getting distracted here. If you check the color wheel, the blue color we have on the book, on the color wheel, that color that we have on this shape here, I mean the shape that we have in the project here, the color we have here, all right, this color here is the color that is next to the blue on the color wheel. All right. And this is called the analog color harmony. I'm talking of the picking colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So I decided to pick this color here because this color is the color that is next to this blue tone that we have on the book here on the color wheel. And this also made the use of color in the project here perfect and balanced. Now, there is no one right way to use color, okay? Don't think because hey, Caesar picked the color that is next to the color from the color wheel and he made this project look successful, so I'm going to do the same thing. No. The reason why I decided to work this way here is because I want to be very fast with the picking of color. Now, see, I'm not saying working this way is bad. You can always work this way, but I'm just saying this is not the only solution where picking colors is concerned. There are so many ways you can pick color in your you can select color to make your design project look successful. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to stop here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you like the after version of this design here. All right, so this is the before and this is the after, and I'm sure you guys learned something from this tutorial. If you do, please give this video a like, and if you have not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button. I'll be very glad if you guys can drop a comment and let me know what you learned from this tutorial. All right, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.